beauty school dropout. Junior high and high school, the years where teenagers are dragged through the monotonous routine of early mornings, tedious lectures, and grueling exams. All of this is done in the hopes of passing classes and securing a better future, one where we can earn a living, acquire some luxuries, and break free from the grip of our parents. It's a well-worn path for American youth, a one-size-fits-all approach to success that has been passed down from generation to generation. But my experience was different. For me, school wasn't about grades, degrees, or the future. It was about something else entirely. It was about the thrill of chasing down a crush, about the chaos and joy of friendship. While other kids were at home writing short stories for their English class homework assignments, I was crafting love letters. I found myself craving the validation and reassurance of those around me, and any issues in my personal life were more important than my studies. When things got tough with the people I cared about, the world around me faded to gray. Without their approval, I felt lost and incomplete. Whatever girlfriend I had at the time was the only thing that mattered, and I envisioned a future where we would stay together until the end of time. But when they inevitably broke things off with me, I was plunged into the depths of despair. The mere thought of living without them was unbearable, and I felt as if I was staring into an endless abyss with no hope of ever climbing out. I often found myself caught up in the gay phase of girls who were exploring their sexuality and searching for something to fill the void in their lives. Unfortunately, I was always their test subject. I poured my heart and soul into each relationship, taking it too seriously. I was always left feeling confused and depressed when they ran back to their ex-boyfriends. It was a vicious cycle that repeated itself time and time again. In the starkness of an Arizona morning, the sun, unforgiving and relentless, laid bare the landscape of Mesa. Power Road, once just a trail of dust and memories, bore the brunt of its heat. It was in this unfazed, almost cinematic setting that, after another hazy sunrise following a night that never quite ended, I finally acknowledged the inevitable. School was over for me. The exact grade, it had long blended into the mirage of years and fleeting memories, lost somewhere in the haze of adolescent ennui. Buried deep within the annals of adolescent angst and those junior high days, I spent my time etching restless thoughts and abstract designs up and down my arms with a ballpoint pen. The familiar setting of a normal high school was now a thing of the past, replaced by the suffocating walls of the alternative, the last resort for society's misfit youth. To survive in this desolate place, one had to master the art of apathy, ignoring textbooks, receiving a chorus of zeros on assignments, and maintaining a distinct absence. Although attendance was still mandatory, perhaps out of a misguided sense of obligation, the reality was different. The occasional moments of engaging history lessons or explosive experiments in the science lab barely registered. I wasn't alone in this indifference. Instead, I was part of a silent majority. We drifted aimlessly, burdened by subjects we couldn't care less about, resigned to hours of monotonous math that would soon be forgotten, a futureless existence. Some students found solace in this routine, viewing it as necessary preparation for adulthood, while most seemed driven by an elusive need to reach the graduation finish line. Regardless of their future plans, that underlying motivation eluded me. I couldn't help but wonder, why couldn't I find that same sense of purpose? Why didn't I give a shit? My grand vision was to attend beauty school by taking out student loans, even though I had no real passion for hair or makeup. In my mind, I was destined for fame and fortune as a hairstylist. No sooner had this decision cemented itself in my brain than I found myself an hour later poring over beauty schools near me. And that's when the Toni and Guy Hair Academy suddenly came into view. This was no ordinary institution. Nestled in Scottsdale, Arizona, it stood as the only American counterpart to its European siblings, a straight shot on the freeway from my house. It felt like it was meant to be. This wasn't just a school, it was an exclusive enclave where the art of hairdressing was elevated to something akin to haute couture. Despite my newfound career path, I was a stranger to Toni and Guy and its association with the bedhead hairline. My hair expertise was confined to maintaining my emo look, a strategic swoop held in place by hairspray and a meticulously crafted back mullet spike. After digging deeper into the digital mine, I struck gold. Toni and Guy was indeed the place. It was a mecca for the fashion conscious, the desire to feel above the rest, the ones hunting for the best in hair care. Why would anyone with a desire for seen hair seek out any other temple? Then came the revelation that shook the ground beneath me, the realization that shifted my perception, confirming that this was indeed my calling. At Tony and Guy, you don't just do hair and color if you're a stylist. No, they're a cut above the rest. The roles are divided. You're either a cutter or a colorist. My mind reeled at the concept. Their coolness factor had just gone through the roof, and I was soon on my way. I had a vision of who I was meant to be, and it consumed me. My future stretched out before me like a long, winding road, full of twists and turns. I saw myself in a swanky loft, high above the bustling streets of New York or LA. Success would be mine, and with it, the keys to a life of pure, unadulterated joy. I could see it all so clearly. Me, cruising up the California coast on a motorcycle, wind whipping through my hair. The bittersweet sounds of some melancholy song playing in the background as the camera zoomed out. It was a picture of perfection, a life lived without fear or regret. Then, the camera came into focus. The reality of beauty school hit me hard on the first day of class. Suddenly, my grandiose vision of becoming a famous hairstylist seemed like a distant dream. It wasn't enough to simply show up and complete the program. I would have to excel at it, which meant genuinely enjoying the work I was doing. It would actually take effort. It was a harsh reality that was waiting to expose itself, and I was marching on, oblivious to what lay ahead. The concept of beauty school, the actual application of it, had somehow slipped from my consciousness. The notion of handling hair and creating beauty seemed a fleeting thought, a mere byproduct of my ongoing personal drama. Clients, eager for the bargain of a lifetime, wandered through our doors. They were hunters, tracking down affordable cuts and colors, exploiting the system for a fraction of the usual cost. The elderly were the most relentless in their quest for cheap beauty, their eyes gleaming with the thrill of a good deal. They'd extend their feet, gnarled and hardened by time, and demand that we scrape away layers of dead skin, revealing the raw, ugly truth of age. All the while, their pennies clinked merrily in their pockets. I hadn't even considered that nail care would be a part of the curriculum. My own nails were nothing more than ragged bitten stubs, a testament to my anxiety and a genetic gift from my father. Our fingers, gnawed and raw, mirrored each other. I suppose it's one of the ways we were cut from the same cloth. As the days rolled on, the song Beauty School Dropout from Greece started to take on a new meaning, slowly becoming the soundtrack to my unfolding life. An anthem of disillusionment in the face of dreams that had turned out to be far more complex than I had ever imagined. So when the echo of my name reverberated through the loudspeakers, summoning me to attend to a client, I was nowhere to be found. Vanishing into the ether, I avoided the dreaded encounter with the customers, their expectations, and the stark reality of my chosen path.